Hi, I'm Mary Gunn of Mary Gunn Fun, your founder of Craft Roulette. Hi, I'm here today to tell you about our new product called the Craft Roulette Creative Companion. I'm just going to spend a few minutes unboxing the new one, showing you how I'm using it. It's a new tool because I know Craft Roulette is it kind of has a little journey of its own. And so we created this little book for our friends to keep track of and to plan and to record and to follow through and have all the things that they might want associated with Craft Roulette all in one convenient box. What is Craft Roulette? Well, it is the original ultimate paper crafting card making game show challenge, and we are live almost every Friday night, and we always leave a seat for you. Honestly, you are very welcome, and bring some friends, because that's the more the merrier. So let's go down, and I'll unbox a brand new box with the Craft Roulette Creative Companion. Woo! That's a mouthful. All right. It comes in this lovely little box, all tidied up. We were working on this product when Tanisa Vlasic came out from Trinity Stamps, came out with her sketchbook, her card making sketchbook. And we wrote to her right away and said, hey, we've been wanting to do something like that for our Craft Roulette people. Could we work together? And she said yes. And so that was last summer, and we've been working on it and finally got it all put together. And I'm really, really pleased with it. So it's in this nice little box. It's got a cool little pizza feature. Nothing like a piece of pizza, but there's no pizza inside, sorry. But it does have our basic Craft Roulette Creative Companion and our logo and our brand all there in the box, out of the box, in the book, on the book, in the book, upon the book, near the book, all the things. And it opens up, and I probably couldn't tell you what the exact size is, so let me give you a little measurement shoot here. Let's see, it's like the cover is 6.5-ish, and the cover is also then 9 inches, I guess. So you get the idea. Exact numbers. This is Mary Gunn. Okay, we're good with that. Anyway, you get this nice laminated cover. That's a great idea for craft tables. Sometimes we have a little wet paint or we have a little wet ink, and it should be pretty easy to wash off. I know Tanisa had worked pretty hard with the publisher to get the right coil strength and whatnot, and I'm very pleased. It's very, very sturdy coil. It's, I think it's the key of D. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so it opens up. We include, after asking multiple people, what would you take if you were trying to make a to-go bag for Craft Roulette? We compiled all their great ideas and put it in a list. It also has a nice little pocket that opens up on both sides to keep some of your little goodies. Little letter from me and Mr. Producer. And then it opens right into 100 episodic layouts where you can track your journey. You can plan your journey or track your journey, depending on how you go about it. You have seen, if you've watched this show, you know that I rarely plan my projects. I just start putting them together. And then I have found that I go ahead and record them and the information of all the things. So from that perspective, when we were making the book, we kind of went, well, some people will plan, some people will journal. Let's make it so that they have both parts so they can enjoy the process. So this area has this dot grid, so you can put a full-size A2 card on it, or you can make a modified slimline or other such cards. Then they're right down here. You can add the project, colors, element, and random. You can check them off as you make sure that you get them in there. Then up here, you can move over to the episode, what date it was, who the guest was, because those things are all good memory joggers. You can write a few notes about the project itself. The chatterbox goes wild during the discussion part of the show. And then you can also use that as when you're going through the galleries or when we're going through a card show and you see something, you go, that's a great idea. I'm going to make a note about it. We ended up having a little spot here for the colors, mostly with in mind of the colors you did use. Great way to build your color palettes, the ones that you like and the ones that you are most comfortable with and happy with. Or you can add a color palette from a gallery. This could be your gallery book where you find photos or you find the cards that you love the most and add notes about them. This can either be your journey or recording somebody else's journey. This is why we left it pretty open for interpretation. Sounds like craft roulette in itself, doesn't it? In the element, we have a couple lines here where you can also talk about maybe themes that are branched off of an element, how people suggested using like in the sky, or how you want to use it. Maybe you want, again, you see it in the gallery and you go, oh my gosh, I got to try that. That's a great idea. You can develop this to be a technique journal. You can develop this to be your memory journal of craft roulette. Maybe you're a guest and you want to remember when you were on, or maybe you're friends of a lot of guests and you want to remember when they're on. Maybe you want to make a guest book and talk just about the guests themselves and their cards. You know, you can do all sorts of things. It's up to you. Random, again, one of our parameters we always spin for random element colors and projects. So they're all right here. Random sometimes can give you all sorts of ideas for future projects. So don't think that's a small thing. That's really a great parameter to play with. And then some notes. You're going to have certain things that you want to keep in yours. I'm going to have certain things that I want to keep in mine. And it's all going to be so incredibly private and perfectly planned just for you. And here's another thing. I know when I first started, my book was it was kind of like, I don't get this quite. I'm kind of developing into it. Now it's just every page is loaded with ideas. And I've changed my style altogether. Because I've been using it since January 1st. And so it's been really fun. And I really, really, really like it. So if you want to start on your mug club journey, if you have never sent in a card to Craft Roulette, you can start your mug club journey. And when you get done with all the episode pages, which go to this tab, you know that you will hit 100 cards. Maybe you want to do your cards plus bonus cards. Maybe you want to make it all about your cards. Maybe you want to make it about other people's cards, other people's ideas. It's yours. It's up to you. Maybe you want two, one for each. I don't know. Maybe I do. That's not a bad idea. But see how many pages there are that are just episodes, and they're all pretty open for interpretation. You'll develop things. Maybe one page won't be the same as the next. That could happen. I think I've even had that experience. So don't feel like you have to be in some system or anything. Just kind of use it and let yourself grow into it. Or, you know, at the same time, if you're a planner, you can use your first page and just make notes on how you're going to use it and then use it continuously the same way every time. Or maybe you want to be involved with our book club and see how other people are using it and then start making notes before you start. These are all things that are completely legitimate and completely able for you to personalize. Then we get this little tab. This little extra space here is for the tabs to stick out, but wait until you see my book. I have another idea. And then there's a little tab there, and you could stick some little notes in here as well. You could make a table of contents for how you use this in back. This is just a series of blank grids and lines for notes and whatever. Sketches and notes. So you can start making maybe some of your favorite card layouts. You can start a page of techniques that you have seen people use, and not just on Craft Roulette, with something that you want to explore. Or you can just start using maybe some fancy folds, make some notes about different fancy folds, and do this using, I really like the fancy fold on such and such as YouTube. Make a note of that. You can have YouTube references. All sorts of things that whatever your interests are, this is your book. And so that you don't have little pieces of paper all over the place or in another planner that doesn't have anything to do with your art projects. This is a great little book for you to make your own and to develop your skills and your talents and your interests and your journey as you have a creative companion to keep everything in. We do team with Trinity Stamps. So to order this, you do need to go to trinitystamps.com to make the order, and they will take care of you from there. That is a brand new book. Now, let me show you what I have in mine. Like I said, I've been using mine since the first of the year, and it's me. it's me. I've added a little gnome, which was from the Trinity Craft Roulette inspired die sets, and I just put him on a little thing here dangling. It'll be easy to take off if I find that he's in the way. And then inside, Tanisa has listed on the page where you can order these little tabs, these little Amazon. She found them on Amazon, and you can color them so that you can put the colors right in the color chart there. And she stuck some in for me. I appreciate that. Nothing too different here. This was my first entry, and it's okay. I remember that night by looking at this. We had May on. There was my card. Maybe you remember it. There were my colors. Now, for me, my colors, because I use different Copics and different inks and different things like that, I tend to just use blue, yellow, green, like color wheel colors when I'm talking about them. And sometimes I have put them on the little line. Sometimes I put the colors in there. Sometimes I put the colors in the boxes, B, YG, red, R for red and such, and then colored over them. I've also used the little tabs. I've been trying all sorts of things to see how I want to do it. And I've also, just another little note to self, I made a test page in back to start writing with different kinds of pens to see what came through and what didn't. So I would highly suggest you find your pen of choice, your pencil of choice. This is nice paper, but you know, if you push too hard, you're going to see it through the back, and you might even make a dent. So that's why I made this. This is just a piece of chipboard that has some scrapbook paper on it. And on this side, I did put a little pocket. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but it's there if I want it. So I use it to buffer between the page I'm writing on and the next page, so there's not dents and not a problem. I guess you still could have bleed through, but I don't use anything in here that would bleed through. I don't think. Trying to think. Would there be anything? I guess if I did alcohol markers over and over and over and over, it might bleed through to the next page. But mostly I like to have this just because it feels good when you're writing. You can also, if that guy is in the way because you're not too far into the book, you can just flip it over and then you're going to be fine with not having to fight that too much. So this guy just can go right here in front when I want him. Or I put a little tab on him to know where I'm going next. Right there. And I also used a little tab, one of these little Post-it tabs that are removable. I think I have them here. I do. Little Post-it tabs that are durable, writable, repositionable. And I just used that right here to know where I was working from Ann Butler just last Friday. Also, again, with that little overhang, no problem with this guy getting lost, bent, messed up, or whatever. So, yep, there we go. See, I've already changed it up to add some really light, sketchy colors. I think it looks cool. Maybe I'm silly, but I think it looks cool. And so I have, since I do whodunits card also, I now add that to the bottom, and I just put some colors there. Whether I'll do that every time, don't know. Here's another one. I did the in review colors down here, and I did the craft roulette colors above it. I've added how many people have submitted, who my guest was for the mystery guest on our member show. Just adding all sorts of information, so it's all right here. It's really, for me, it's great fun. But you could also put the number of your entry, all the things that you want to keep track of. Whether you added a bonus card, you could put bonus cards in here. You could put a note right here on random. Oh, you've got something that you wanted to do. You can have some random notes back here. Things to talk about that you had made pages, and you can have a page reference of your own and then go back and go, reference for random, page 89, and then you can make some notes about it if you don't have enough room. It's going to be, and we're just getting started. The fun thing about this is I'm not the only one will be doing it. And we get so many cards every week. It's an overwhelming task to keep track of, right? So I think this will help people kind of get encouraged by watching their progression, seeing how many cards, seeing them in the gallery is one thing, but then seeing them in a book as they develop it, I think that's pretty sweet. Another thing I did back here was add some Velcro to a pencil and to the back of the page, and just stuck a pencil right there. Of course, you can always have your favorite pen, and I know you will have a favorite pen, and you can, while you're not using it, you can just stick that little guy right there and have it ready to go. We are going to start our book club. It is for patrons of all levels. It's going to start Tuesday night, 3/19. It is a Zoom call. And it's going to be called Book Review, because we're going to find out how other people are using the book, get some great ideas. It's a creative companion. Guess what? We're going to have some creative ideas involved. You are welcome to join us, but you do need to be a patron. So that's not a bad thing, because you get lots of perks involved with that also. So if you use it for a planner, if you use it for a journal, if you use it for whatever you do, we just hope you will enjoy using it. And please, you can always tag us with hashtag #CRCreativeCompanion. We'd love that a lot. Thank you so much. Leave comments in the comment section below, and go to Trinity to get your own copy. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Bye-bye.